Hey guys, I'm out getting a little stress relief in. I got my allergy mask on. Not that I need it, but it is spring. But anyway, this is something I use sometimes. Actually, I use them regularly for helping reduce exposure to allergens, inhaling allergens. There's been a lot of talk about masks lately, and many are saying that the masks out there are insufficient. And it depends on if it's trying to block germs from coming in or germs from coming out. And so basically, if you're trying to block germs from coming out, yes, you're going to need a stronger mask. Something that has a much stronger or smaller filter to block a smaller micron size particle, because you're basically projecting out through sneezing particles, and they're trying to be pushed or forced out of the mask. Now, if you're trying to protect from germs coming into you, inhaling them, nose, mouth, etc., get in your eyes, most masks, physical barriers, should be effective at some point or some form or fashion. Maybe even not 100%, but some protection is better than zero protection. So basically, I like using a scarf, and I primarily use the scarf for protecting against inhaling allergens. And I do that basically, to be honest with you, I use it at nighttime. Down on my pillow. I used to get horrible allergies. My allergies are dust mites, different types of pollens, a few mold spores, and so I'd wake up stuffy, postnasal drip, impaired breathing, causing panic, all these kind of things that you're going, holy smokes, can't breathe, that kind of thing. You wake up, you're like, wow, what am I going to do? Walking around the house, looking for water. Do I need an inhaler? All that kind of stuff. Well, thank God that was quite a few years ago. After doing a lot of personal research myself, consulting with a friend of mine who's an immunologist, and testing out some different strategies on my own, some home routines on my own, I came up with the idea of using these scarves. And they work great. Try and use one layer. If you double it up, it does impair breathing a little bit. Your oxygen levels do drop a little bit. And throw that on my face each night. I wake up, no headache. In the morning, no stuffiness in the nose. Only time I get the stuffiness is if I wake up and the scarf has fallen off my face. And every so often I might scare my wife because she's like, whoa, there's a burglar next to me. But but for the most part, no, the scarf has been great. And even when you're out in public, I'm not saying this is going to protect you against coronavirus, but I'm saying this, any barrier is going to protect you from inhaling foreign substances that are not good for you, be it dust mites, which are one of the smallest particulates that are measurable in the air, to pollen grains, to different types of droplets of saliva, etc., that are floating in the air that might be expelled as you're walking by somebody. And so the best thing, of course, is to practice social distancing. That is keeping 3 to 6 feet between you and someone else, particularly someone else who appears to be sick. And if they don't, you're going to have less of a chance of getting something, being closer to them. But it's always good because this particular virus they've been talking about does seem to have a longer incubation period. That is potentially up to 14 days. And so most sicknesses, most flu viruses, the incubation period is about 1 to 4 days. And so that is something to keep in mind. So practicing social distancing on a regular basis is good to do. Wear a mask. Any type of barrier is going to block some. It's a filter. A filter attempts to block as many particulates out as possible. So this works good. So right now we're getting in a few sprints. This is a great endocrine system booster. Basically with the sprints, you're looking at going uphill. You can see this here, up the hill, up the boat ramp here. Nice little view out here with the water. It's actually really nice because we've been getting a lot of rain lately. And so because it involves using large muscle groups, hips, glutes, hamstrings, that kind of thing, it's going to basically trigger the endocrine system to respond stronger and release more growth hormone and testosterone. And what do those hormones do? Well, they increase your sense of strength. They create what we call a thriving state or a naturally anabolic state. And that helps you to fight anything from sickness to stress, what have you. I notice when I'm doing hill sprints on a regular basis, when I say regular basis, at least a couple times a week, I can fight through other stressors that come up from work and so on and day-to-day life a lot better. I can tolerate a lot more when I'm including hill sprints in my routine. So get a couple hill sprints in, we'll see what they're like, see how tough they are. Okay, ready? Here goes, let's see how this works. And go. Not bad. It's about 30 yards. Give myself a little breather between. Checking the timer. Make it interval oriented. Do a little jog in between and or walk. Whatever is most comfortable for you. But it's good to have active recovery, that is walking in between or jogging instead of just standing. Okay, ready? Here goes. And number 2. What do you think? Should I put my mask on? Scare people? No, I don't think so. Hold off on that. A couple people walking their dogs. Woo! There's 2. We're going for number 3 coming up here. Okay, active recovery, ready to go. Woo! That was tough. Lengthen my recovery. A little longer jog. Beautiful day. A lot of water. Let's get another. Okay, here goes. Woo! Okay, that's 4. Let's get a 5th one in, and maybe we'll cut it halfway through. Amazing the strength that you feel after doing things like sprints, power cleans, things like that. I go back to the power clean. Remember my coach in high school, Coach Zim, teaching me how to do those guys years ago. And I got to a certain point, I did them for a good 15, 20 years, and I said, you know what? I'm never gonna do a power clean again. and I put them aside. And you know what? About 4 years later, I came right back to him. I said, you know what? I need those things. So again, that's another endocrine booster. The sprints are great though. Something my dad taught me years ago. Love them. He used to take me hill sprint running when I was a kid. Just love it. Had great memories of that. Little did I know he was teaching me something that was going to give me great blessing for many, many years to come. Let's get the fifth one in here. Okay, ready, set, go. Woo! That's 5. 5 more to go. This is when I'm going to sign off. Let you pick your number. I recommend 5 to 10 reps, uphill, 20 to 30 yards. You can even take it 40 depending on your pace. Faster pace, you can shorten the distance some. Go back, rest, do some deep breathing, some praying. Thank God for the food He provides you, the family and the peace that He gives you. Show love and kindness to your neighbor, and you treat your neighbor as yourself, the golden rule. Keep praying, keep pressing on. I'll give you more tips on stress relief later. This will make me stronger for at least a few days. God bless. Take care.